Hello, gorgeous human beings of the channel. A summit of sisterhood for me, for you, for us. I'm so excited. This is our last and final call of the day. We have had 3 extraordinary speakers already, 3 new speakers tomorrow, 2 speakers on the last day, and that will complete the channel. Today is our last speaker of the day, and I love this woman so deeply. On our call, so in the channel, the way it kind of worked is that we had one call designated to each person of the channel. And on top of that, in between calls, we have these deepening calls and conversations and all kinds of stuff happening in the middle. But every person got to be spotlit at least one time for an entire call. And my call with Diane was one of the most powerful calls. Like what she brought forward to heal, what she brought forward to break through was the most generous and brave thing. And I feel like it brought the channel together in such an impactful way. You know, it's not always easy to share the biggest thing. And I was just blown away that she did. And I'm seeing so much incredible energy around her since then. Like I feel a whole lightness, a whole energy shift. Like it has been so incredible watching. It's as if she put a bag down because something, just a lightness came through after that call. And I've just been watching in deep appreciation what was on the other side of that call. And so I'm so happy to have this conversation with her to talk about what she does and how she sees, you know, you'll see, she's going to talk about her work. I think a lot of you will be very interested in what she has to say. This is going to be a very fun topic. So without any more spoilers, let me bring forward the beautiful, the one, the only, Diane Deal. Come on over.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it's here. Yay!
Yeah. So where shall we start? Do you want to start with the beginning? Like, what did you hope for
Yeah,
the channel and all the things?
it's good. When I originally joined the channel, I thought if all I get out of it is to be kind again, that will be brilliant. I had just been through something so that I almost like I couldn't breathe on some days. So I just thought, if at the end of it, I'm kind, good to go. But I got so much more, so much. I had a business that where I coach writers and I edit occasionally. And mostly I learned human performance improvement in business. And so I just apply that. It's like so you figure out what you want to improve, you know, whether it's the number of words you want to write or, you know, the length of time you can stay in flow or the quality of your content. And then we measure it and see how you've done. It's a really cool process. I don't know if you guys coach like that, because I mean, I'm sure some people in our group do, but it's just how I learned. And I think it's a brilliant system for writers and content creators. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah. So I thought, I'm just going to keep my clients. I'm just going to keep doing what I do behind the scenes. And who cares about the social media thing? And I don't really need to do it. And I frankly don't want to do it. So I just stayed really small. And then I had a call with you. I had a forgiveness ceremony with lovely Juliette. Homaya gave me more healings than I can count. And Lisa talked to me about Lisa Cheatham, and she talked to me about what had gone on with her. And we had sort of had some similar experiences. And it just kind of, in like a matter of 2 weeks, I just felt like I was a brand new person.
You just softened. Like
had an opportunity to start writing. And I don't know, just this prompt, and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And I hadn't written myself for a really long time. And then I couldn't stop. And so now I'm on social media and I'm doing this and I love it. Couldn't be happier, really. It's brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Like this is a big thing for me as a coach and a mentor in this space, because people come to me for so many different reasons, and I'm in for whatever reason. You know, some people will come and they're like, I am ready to learn how to build a successful business. Some people are like, I am ready to heal my marriage or to leave my marriage. Some people say, I want to feel healthy and alive within myself again. I want to have purpose. I want to have passion. And some people say, I want to find my heart again. I want to feel kind again. It doesn't matter what people bring. I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's like, this is what we do. Everything's connected. And so to watch that process for me, this is one of my favorite missions, one of my favorite reasons for joining the channel, because so often people will say, people only care about money. They won't do personal development unless there's money on the table. You know, they just won't do it unless they can get rich. And I'm like, that's not true. That is not true. People come and they say, help me heal my marriage. Let's do this. I want to bridge the gap with my kids. I want to feel alive again. I want to feel like I'm myself again. I want to find my heart again. And they invest themselves the exact same way, if not more, than the people who just want to make money. As a matter of fact, the people who want to make money invest in themselves the most if they want everything else too. The ones that just want to make money, they don't invest in themselves. They gamble. It's not the same feeling whatsoever. And so I loved your intention and I loved watching it happen. It was one of the greatest moments for me.
Well, I feel that way too. It was the greatest moment for me, just when I could be kind again, you know, because I felt like I had everything inside and I was just this little, you know, curled up thing. So now, yay. And I apologize. I have laryngitis today. Yay. So you can understand me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
perfect.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about your purpose. Like,
Well, I think, you know, when I wrote that to you, I really meant my vocation, my calling.
yeah.
Yeah. So when I started in the channel, there was all these great healers doing all these amazing things. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And then I want to do that. So I took a class in that and I was just like, ooh, I love that. And then I like that. And then, like I said, it was actually 6 weeks ago that the writing bug hit me. Like 2 weeks ago, I got the social media going, but I just, it was amazing. Really. It really was just, you know, come full circle and go
Yeah.
back to writing when, you know, putting everything else back just to use when I needed it and I didn't need to share with anyone else.
So when did you used to write before? When do you remember writing?
That's what my degree's in. That's what I've always done. I worked in a Fortune 500 company for 20 years doing technical writing and managing writers and creating documentation teams and designing publications and creating all the content and just so many things.
And was it like an emotional thing, a life thing, just your creativity?
I think it's all the things that you guys all helped me heal. All the women in the channel and my call with you and, you know, I don't really want to talk about because I don't cry. So
no. I'm just saying, like,
I don't have a lot of
was
time.
it like a line in the sand, or was it like gradually over time you felt you were writing less and less and then it stopped?
Well, we were talking about, and I assume we're still doing this channel book, right? Yes. And so a group of us got together and then, you know, it was kind of rolling along at a slow pace because everybody had their own things to do. And one day I just sat down and I wrote this like 12, 15 page document on, you know, how I saw it going and we need to do this, and this is what this is. And I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah. You know, that this is another important thing to remember. Like, a lot of times people will have this experience, like the thing they've always been so good at, they can't do anymore. And I think there's something wrong with them. And they think there's something like they've lost their gift. But the fact is that the gift that you are and the gift that you have, it's something that comes through you and there's nothing that you're supposed to be taking care of first. The gift is like the proof that you're in alignment. Things flow when you've taken care of yourself and of business. When something gets in the way, you've got a heart, like a boo-boo on your heart, and you're just pushing it down. You're like, nope, not dealing with you. All of a sudden, this gift you have gets dimmed a little bit. And you can push a lot of stuff down and the gift just goes, okay, well then I guess I'm done too, because the gift is your freedom. And when you push stuff down, it pushes the gift down. So now you started writing 2 weeks ago like crazy. You created this plan for the book. So what I love about this is like, all of a sudden, it's not just your well-being that changed, but your gift comes back.
Yes, that is the best way to put it. That is absolutely true. Because I could teach other people and I could coach other people. And I could actually write the plan, for how they were going to go from, their concept of their book to publishing.
Yeah.
I couldn't write myself, it just, nothing would come out.
Like your genius wasn't gone, your gift was.
Yes.
That is so, so important to remember, because we don't always tell the difference. It would be easy to completely not notice that's happening, because you're like, I can still go to work. I'm still going to work. I can do it for everybody else. It's me that's broken. But it's like, no, it's that your genius, your intellect, where you've studied, where you've got the credentials, where you've got all the things, that's not gone. It's your gift that's frozen. So sometimes you don't even notice it. And I'll see coaches do this sometimes where they're like, I did the Facebook Live, I wrote the post, I did the masterclass, I did the thing, but nobody bought. It's like, yeah, your genius is still there. It's your gift that's gone.
Oh, that's the best way to put it. That, yes. Yeah.
I've experienced this myself, to be honest. I've had that feeling.
I felt like to just the last healing that Homaya did with us, I felt like afterwards, like, this is kind of gross, but I felt like I coughed up a hairball. It was just like, I felt like I couldn't talk at all for a really long time. And so my voice has been going in and out since, but I think it's just healing. I want to talk again. I just quit. I kind of quit talking. I quit writing. I quit, because when you only have to communicate with people via email and, then on, some Voxer chats or that kind of thing, you're not talking for an extended period of time. And then you still use your voice when you're writing. So that just kind of was frozen. And I
now you've coughed up an energetic hairball.
I did. And here we are.
Here
It's
we
still
are.
healing, but it's there. Yeah. So I think moving the business online is going to be good.
That's awesome. So the title of this segment really is about book writing.
It really is. Yes.
And how you go from just being completely overwhelmed and not being able to write the book to writing the book. And so can you talk to us about this a little bit?
A lot of different things, but I'd say initially you write a book plan. A book plan is your plan of action. It's also your overarching strategy. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to write a book. How do I get there? And then your book plan also breaks down everything into tasks and a process. And what that does, not a process, but lots of tasks. And what that does is it frees your mind so that you can just connect with your spirit. You can connect with your heart, and you can just get into that flow state where nothing exists besides you and the keyboard. And you're not even conscious of your fingers on the keyboard, because you don't have those thoughts in the back of your mind that says, I need to have this done by this day, or what am I going to do with this? And where do I find an editor? You have all of that done up front. So it frees you up just to create.
I love that. The flow state around you allows you to free your mind so you can focus on creating. So basically, instead of just going right in with feminine energetics, like once upon a time, you're creating the process and you're plugging into one little piece at a time, and that helps you just quiet your mind for the rest.
For sure. You kind of have to have a focus for your writing for whatever your segment is. Just say you're going to sit down and write for 2 hours. You can't just sit down and random, amazing thoughts come, but you have to do some prep work, go take a 10-minute walk in nature. That really, it gets your mind out of the game. And also, do some somatic experiencing exercises, which are just really, you can free your hips and for women too, I just learned this last week, but women get 90% of the cases of TMJ. And that's because our hips get so tight. So if you can relax your hips and then get your jaw relaxed, get your shoulders and your neck relaxed, then your body's not in the game either. So you get your mind and your body out of it, and you're just creating from here.
So, okay, you're saying, so I have TMJ. You're saying that TMJ is connected to hips?
Correct.
So
if Colleen's on here, she could back me up, but yeah.
who?
Colleen, is she on?
Okay. I don't know, but okay, so hang on. And
Maybe
there's a
she-
lot of somatic healing techniques that have a lot to do with the opening
Yeah,
of the hips.
for
So
sure.
you do somatic healing to realign the hips, all the things, so your jaw can relax and then the creativity flows.
Yeah, and then your mind's not in it, your body's not in it. And then for me and for some clients I've talked to about it, where we do the exercises, when you're ready to break out of that flow state, you'll start feeling your body again. Your body will tell you, look, this is enough. And then when you come out, you do those exercises again, and then your body's relaxed and your mind's, because you've created, and you look at the keyboard and you're like, or the screen, and you're like, what is that I just created? Where did that come from? And it's like you had no knowledge that you were actually writing that, but you had a focus before you went in. You programmed your subconscious, or however, I like to tell my subconscious ask my subconscious rather, what we're doing. Is it okay? Can we write this today? And then I get a yay or an A, and then I go with it.
So would you say that flow state actually feels like you're not thinking at all?
It does. Yes.
You're not thinking, you're not in your body, you're not paying attention to anything of how you feel, you're not paying attention to your mind. The words are just coming out.
Yes.
Flow state.
It's really, I don't even know how to describe it, except you just feel, I don't think you even feel. It's just, there's magic coming out of your fingertips.
And would you suggest that people sit to write when there's magic coming out of their fingertips, and as soon as their mind comes back in, get away from the screen and go move around? Like, don't try to fix it?
Yes. I think in most cases, you're going to feel your body first. Your body will click in. I mean, your mind has to tell your body. I mean, your body has to tell your mind, but yeah, like I'll start feeling like my feet might go numb, or my fingers are numb.
This is so interesting. Like, when you think about it, even writing on social media, because you can take this for writing a book, but you can also take it when you're writing a post. You might get an intuition, like, I want to write something, and you grab your phone or you sit at your computer and you start writing something, and the first few sentences come out, and then all of a sudden, whoop, you're in your head. And you read what you wrote and nothing's coming up, and you ditch the whole thing because it's like, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where that even came from. And so do you feel that it's possible to, let's say I write half of what I was going to say, and I get kicked out of flow. Is it possible to re-enter that same flow state? Or usually if I've been kicked out, I start over? Like, what's your experience with that?
You have to ask your subconscious.
How can you give me an example of what I might say?
Ask it the actual question you want to know the answer to, just like you asked me. Yeah. I mean, at least that's what I do. And
so I would say, like, why am I being blocked right now? Or what's the rest of this that I was flowing with?
Mostly have to ask yes or no questions.
Yes or no questions.
Yes.
This is super valuable. Like, this is like super, super, super valuable. Ask your subconscious yes or no answers.
Yes. And then I have a sacral authority, so I don't know if I've made the correlation between different authorities. That's a human design thing for people.
Okay.
That threw off there, but yeah. But I do what's called the term's escaping me, but you can just stand in an upright position, and I can say, can I continue my flow state? And that's a yes or no question. It's just yes or no. There's no in the middle. And then it's a sway test. That's it. And then my body will sway forward if it's a yes, and back if it's a no. No, your body may go sideways, different things. You just have to work with your subconscious and get that connection, and then you figure each other out.
What I love about this, and I feel that universally, when you speak to people who are very good at a craft and you ask them to explain it, there's always going to be a variation of, you've got to trust your intuition, or you've got to tap into yourself, or you're going to know, or you kind of just feel it, or you're in the vibe, you're in the zone. And so it's not possible to just completely override your spirit, override your breakdowns, override your heart, override your emotions, bypass the fact that you're in your head and try to create a masterpiece. Like, that's where a lot of people are thinking they're not good enough, nothing's working for them, they can't write a book, they can't do it, when in fact they're not working with their subconscious, they're not tapping into flow, they're not utilizing their own intuition, they're not making a plan. That's usually why they can't write the book. Not because they're not good enough, not because they don't have the divine knowledge to do so. It's just they're not utilizing their own self as a friend.
I would agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
So what are the two most important relationships as a writer? You shared this and I thought this was mind-boggling.
Yes, an editor and the reader.
So why is that? Because that's not what would come to mind for me.
Okay,
You would have said, what are the two most important? I would have been like, the person that reads the manuscript and gives you feedback, and maybe the reader at the end. But I never would have thought the editor. So tell us about that. Or maybe I would have thought the person who sells it even.
Yeah, the publisher
The
or
publisher.
whomever.
Yeah.
Well, first the editor, because because say you're in a flow state, the flow doesn't know about periods and commas and question marks. You just get, whatever comes out. Or even if you're just, your mind's in the zone and you just do a brain dump, you can give that to an editor. And if you have established a relationship with them where they know you know them, you have a really good relationship. They understand what you're trying to accomplish. You spend a lot of time with them. You trust them, they trust you. And then they will you can give them this stuff, this goo, this pile of, whatever you want to call it, and they can make sense of it. They can put it into paragraphs. They can, developmentally edit it, which means that you change the structure. Maybe this paragraph goes up here and then this paragraph goes over here. This one goes down here, and they send it back to you. So there's multiple levels of edit. So that's the first one. And then they would fix, or you would have a collaborative call and, go from there. And then you do line edits, which is more like it's copy editing, making it, look good, changing the syntax, the sentence structure, that type of thing. And then you do a proofreading, and then it might be good to go. And then you do another proofreading because there will be mistakes, but they can take that stuff and just make it, into something cohesive. And then two, I think writers become so in love with their work that they can't be objective. You can't edit your own work, never. When I wrote my bio, 3 different channel sisters helped me edit it, because that's just not, it's not how I would do it. That's my ideology.
And how do you suggest someone finds an editor that's in alignment with them?
There is a freelance editors association. So that's a good place to find editors. And then, I'm sure that I don't even know. I've never had to look for one, Melanie. So
you're an energetic match to them.
Yeah,
so people reach out to you and say, can you please connect me? Yes. And then you offer your services, and then they'll connect you.
I for sure can do that. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Very good.
And then the reader.
The readers.
Yeah, if you don't have, okay, so are we running out of time?
I'm not. Are you?
I'm not.
Keep going.
Okay, so the reader. Okay, so the reader is the person that you should have the absolute best relationship with. But you figure that out up front. This goes in your book plan. It's called a persona. You write a document, you create a document that outlines anything and everything that you can think of your typical reader is. But this isn't from assumption or intuition or anything. It is from market research. It's from talking to your typical readers. So let's say you're writing a book on essays. a book full of your own personal essays, and you're like, who can I talk to? So just you can look on Amazon and look at the latest anthology that's out there, which is a collection of essays from different writers, and look at the comments and see what those people are saying. Those are your readers. If you're writing a book of essays, then you just keep going with this. Put questions online, put it on your Facebook feed. Hey, if I were, I'm writing this book, can you give me any feedback? Would you read this? Is this something that interests you? And if you get a group of people who say they would read it, then to get into that further. And so you create this persona, and that's who you write to, and it makes your writing so much easier. You have a picture of them. This is a software development thing, but we would go out and we would interview these people, and then we would make a amalgamation of all of those people rolled into one, what they wore, how they dressed, what they look like, right down to the nitty-gritty. And then you have a picture of them, and you have all of that data about them, and you write to that reader. That makes writing easier too.
So do you help people do this specifically? Like, do you know how to do this?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a user experience thing. It's for when you create the software interface. So I did that for years too. Yep. That technical writing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
This is so helpful, because if I were to write a book, these are things I would not even think about. And they are important. Like, I would literally I'd probably sit and just start writing, and then I'd get lost, and then I'd just never go back to it. Then I'd start another chapter. I wouldn't have had the idea of the plan. That's just not the way my mind usually works. But I do agree in everything I've ever done that the masculine structure is what allows the feminine to flow. And I always say that it's like the masculine is the cup and the feminine is the water. In this case, masculine is the book plan and the feminine is the flow writing. And so same thing when you're like, okay, I just want to, how often do we get in our mind, will people like this? Will people like this? Will people like this? Well, let's get so clear on the people you're writing this for, that you are so clear that they will love it, that you will never ask yourself that question again, and you're just connected to them.
Yes, for sure.
I love that. That's so good. Okay, so talk just a little bit about, like, you said ego reading, spirit guide.
Well, that was other topics if we had more time, just throwing things out there. But when I had my conversation with you, I didn't realize that I was operating from an ego state. And I really dug into that afterwards. I mean, that was such helpful information. And so that is another thing that the editor can do for you, to make sure that your writing isn't to fulfill your ego. You're not writing to make yourself look good. You're writing for your persona. So your editor can help you with that. And then also, if you have a persona in mind, it'll help you eliminate that ego.
That's so cool.
And then what else do we say? I have notes.
There was reading, spirit guides.
Oh, but reading. If you want to be a great writer, read everything but don't read things you don't love just because you think it's good writing. It has to be something that you love. So read what you love, and read all the time. You can learn so much from reading.
I agree.
Spirit guides. Yeah. That's like connecting with your subconscious. Just ask your spirit guides before you go to bed, hey, I want this to happen in my flow session tomorrow. Can you surround me with some love? Ask your subconscious, is this, can you do this for me? Go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and then it's all nice and programmed in there.
What I love the most about this conversation is the level of intentionality that I think a lot of people don't go into big projects with. You'll think, I want to write a book. So what do I need? I need a computer, and I need to have a good idea. We're not thinking, let me get my spirit guides on my side. We're not thinking, let me do some somatic healing a little bit to free up my body and to make sure that my body doesn't stop my flow. We're not thinking, let me, do deep breathing exercises or letting go of whatever tension I have, or asking, can I ask my guides or ask my subconscious, am I available to flow right now? Yes. Like, am I using my body wisdom, my guides? Am I using everything I have to my disposition, to my disposal? Am I using those things to ensure that this is going to be the best of my work? Or am I just going at it because I want to write a book, because I want to look amazing and it's going to give me credibility and I just need to write this and I need to write it fast? And it's such a different process. One is like a work of art that you're bringing in all these tools, and the other one is just getting a point across as fast as you can. I just love the intentionality behind the process.
Me too.
So do you have any final thoughts? If you were just like one last thought for anyone who's listening to this, and then I will read your bio. Anything you'd like to
I
give
was
them?
going to say about purpose too, and I'm sorry, my throat's kind of going again, but about purpose. And then I'd like to do this exercise with my purpose and, the greater. Until I met you and the Channel Sisters, I didn't really see like a world purpose, like a global purpose. And so I started doing a practice that I've been doing since the 80s, but not with this specifically, where you just look at it and you have your vision of what it looks like. And then you just take that vision and intensify that vision, make it bigger, make it bolder, make it, reds, blues, make the colors brighter, add sound, what would it sound like? How would it feel? What does it taste like when you're really supporting and living to fulfill your purpose and your mission to all of those women out there, or men who want to write a book, or who just want to be better writers in general, or create? And just make that purpose, that mission so big that it's just mind-blowing. It really, it makes me cry just thinking about it. And normally, if I wasn't so connected and I didn't see it or feel it or taste it or hear it that way, it's okay, it's there, it's a background thing, but it gets me right here.
How do you feel about me doing a very quick visualization with everyone that's here to anchor in what you just said? Because this is a process I use for myself as well.
Yes.
Are you in?
feel fine with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So if you want to play, I'm going to take you through something that I love to do for myself. So first of all, I would like you to just imagine something that you would like to have happen in your life. This can be a small thing, it can be a big thing. Just like if it's, I want to write a book, and I'm imagining myself one day having written a book and people love it and they read it, if there's something like that, or it could be something completely different. Just choose a moment in your life you'd like to create. And so you're going to imagine it like it's happening on a screen on a television, and you're sitting on the couch. So you imagine yourself cozy sitting on the couch, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths just so you feel relaxed in your body. And just very matter of fact, imagine you're sitting on the couch, and whatever it is that you're wanting, you're watching it happen of yourself on the television. And so it's far enough away in a little box. Now you're going to start to look at the details of what's happening. And let the image come closer to you, or you closer to it, until it no longer feels like you're watching it on the screen. It feels like it's right in front of you. You can see it so close, what's happening. So I want you to make the picture so big that you could be in the picture. So whatever you imagined would be happening, now it's life size. You're in the experience. You can see yourself experiencing this thing in real size. I want you to see if you can dial up the colors of the image you're seeing. So if it's you, you've got a big smile on your face, you're so happy. Can you pump up the sky? The sky is even brighter, or the greenery, the plants, the flowers, the colors are brighter all of a sudden. Can you sharpen, like a high definition, the clothing, the smile, every single stroke of the image in front of you, like bring it up, up, up in high definition, make the colors pop. Take a deep breath and see if you can smell what it would smell like. If there's something about, it's an important day for you, can you smell your own perfume? Can you ramp that up even more? And what's something you might be feeling? So if you're wearing soft clothes in your imagination, or if you're holding something, can you amplify your holding and your feeling and your touching of a certain thing? If you can't, maybe stroke your hair in the visual and stroke it in real time and see if you can feel that sensation. So now you can smell something, you can see something, you can sense something. Just take a moment and be with what you're looking at and see if you can amplify again the color, even brighter, even sharper, even crisper, this image. Like, this is the sharpest image you've ever seen. And when it's the sharpest and the brightest, and you can feel it, and you can touch something, like you're really present to where you are, make yourself become the person in the visualization. So all of a sudden you are now standing as the person who's going through it. So instead of watching yourself, you are yourself. I want you to feel the feelings you think you'll feel on that day. Feel the gratitude for the feelings you'll feel on that day. It's not just about how you feel, it's how grateful you are. It feels the way you hoped it would. So not only do you feel good, you feel the way you hoped you would. Really feel that. And notice the colors. Is there a sound in the room? Is there laughter? Is there sound of something in the background? Is there a song? Is there something you can hear? Turn up the volume and whatever you can hear. Background noise, see if you can hear that. Enhance your feelings a little bit, even more gratitude. Enhance the color a little bit, even more of that. If there's a smell, there's a taste connected to the smell. See if you can taste something, even if it's just fresh air in your mouth. Or the taste of your coffee still. See if you can, or maybe you've got a piece of chewing gum or a Tic Tac in your mouth because this is a big moment. Can you amplify the sound even more? Can you hear it? Can you amplify the feeling even more? Can you feel it? Can you feel even more gratitude that this is the way you wanted to feel? See the colors brighter than ever, so bright they're almost overexposed now. If there's something to touch, touch it again. See if you can be right there in it. And take a deep breath. Like, this happened. And it was everything I hoped it would be. And it felt exactly the way I hoped it would feel. And now let the light dim a little bit. And let the sound dim a little bit. And let the smell dim a little bit. And notice how you still feel the imprint of everything you just lived. Let the image go back to the television. You sitting on the couch. It's still so far away, but you feel exactly the same way. It's imprinted the way it was supposed to be. Just take a deep breath. And open your eyes. And you just imprinted a memory. And this is now a memory from the future. And you can do this as often as you want when you're feeling wobbly and when you want clarity. And what I love about everything Diane said is at the end of this, if you want to say, spirit guides, hold on to that vision and help me make it happen. That's a really great question to ask. Thank you so much for these processes that you've shared. Thank you so much for the breakdown of what's important, what people need to look for in the process. And obviously now, if anybody is looking to write a book, you know where to go, you know where to ask. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to read your bio. You feel good?
I feel good. Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Okay, let me read Diane's bio. Diane Dale is a book and performance coach for writers and aspiring authors. She helps her clients write from flow states and accomplish exponentially more than they ever thought possible. She supports writers in unleashing the power of their authentic voice. Through her career at Fortune 500 company, Diane led multiple multi-million-dollar publishing projects and created, trained, led, and supported global teams of award-winning writers. She was involved in all aspects from concept to publishing of 200 pages plus books and manuals, and is leveraging her expertise to help clients write books that are an authentic experience of their powerful voice. It's her ultimate pleasure to be leading the Channel Sisters in collaborative work around the topic of healing the sisterhood wound. This is such a beautiful bio and such an impressive bio. Congratulations for everything you've done. And I can't wait to see how your career goes now with this new, newfound or return of kindness and love and joy. Like, what a beautiful journey on the horizon.
I'm so excited, really. I am. It's amazing.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for two amazing years together in the channel. I'm so grateful that our paths intertwined the way that they did. So grateful for that day. So grateful for this day. So grateful for the 2 years we've spent. I love you so much.
Love you.
Thank you everyone for being here. This is our last call of the day. Tomorrow we meet back for 3 incredible speakers. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful night, and we will see you on the internet. Bye.